Hi friends. Today I want to talk about what food freedom is to me, what that means to me and why it's important. The reason we started really working towards food freedom was as things happened like COVID, we wanted to be sure that we had what we needed. And a few other topics that I'll go into later is things like an ingredient household versus a snack household or ready-made foods. So because we were an ingredient household, and that's a whole nother talk, we were comfortable during COVID, and because we already had lived an hour away from the nearest stores, we weren't dependent on going to stores daily or even weekly to get our groceries. So food freedom to me is when something happens, whether it's a political agenda gets in the way, price fluctuation like the eggs and how all of that went down last year, and or a pandemic scare, a big problem like that, it's not going to matter to me because I don't depend on going to the store every day to get my food, or even every week. I could get by easily for 6 months probably without going to the grocery store. So, and I do stock up on a few things, like more like cleaning products, paper products, like, you know, toilet paper, paper towels that we use, stuff like that. I have a pretty good stash of that stuff. But as far as food, we preserve, we freeze, and so we dehydrate, freeze dry, all of that. So we have a good stash of stuff that we use all of the time. We're not preppers. We don't food prep for 25 years. We just grow what we need, and we know the next season comes and we can grow it again. So we save seeds from the garden. We do all those things. Food freedom to me means that I don't have to depend on someone else to have my food. The other big part of food freedom to us is the fact that we want healthy food. We want food that doesn't have chemicals. We want food that hasn't been processed and so much that there's nothing good left in it. We want nutrient dense foods, so like our meat and vegetables, everything like that is a nutrient dense rich food, which when you're eating nutrient dense foods, another piece of that is it goes a lot farther than empty calories. So if you're eating a lot of meat versus a lot of carbs, it's that same concept, that is going to be in your system, that's going to keep you full longer. And nutrient dense foods, it's kind of interesting. When we started growing our own beef, when we first started doing that and processing our own, we noticed you could go to a restaurant or you could buy a steak from Costco, and one, it didn't have a lot of flavor. You ate more of that food because it wasn't as satisfying. It probably didn't have as much iron in it and things like that. So when you're eating your beef that's nutrient dense and it has a lot more flavor, the amount of flavor difference is huge. If you haven't experienced it, you won't understand. But when you have nutrient dense foods, the flavors are so much more bold and rich and filling. And so you just tend to need less of it. That's another reason for our food freedom, is wanting to control what's going into our food, how it's grown, the chemicals not used on it versus used on it, and all of the preservatives and additives. So we don't do those things, and we wanted the healthy options. Food freedom is a way for us to control that outcome, both politically, in case of a pandemic, in case of price fluctuations, and the best healthy options that we can give ourselves. I hope that makes some sense to you. I hope some of you are interested in having food freedom yourself, because it's very liberating to not have to worry about going to the store in case something happens, without that panic mentality that they so often are putting on us now in the media, because don't have the comfort of knowing what's going to happen week to week, day to day. You just never know what's going to happen. It seems like we're in crisis mode all the time, which is just really hard on our bodies. To understand that you have what you need available to you for a long period of time, that you will be safe, fed, and have what you need is a huge comfort, and something that is, gosh, I don't even know how to explain it. It's freeing. It's just such a freeing feeling to know that you don't have to depend on that you don't. What if somebody gets sick? What if somebody loses their job financially? I mean, groceries are so expensive right now. Everything's so expensive right now. If you didn't have to go to the store, if you had all that available, that's a huge weight lifted off of you, that burden of going to the grocery store, whether it's for the time it's closed down or it's financial. It doesn't matter. It's a huge burden lifted off of you if you know that you can survive out of what you have available to you in your own home. So I hope that is enlightening to you. I hope that encourages you to strive towards that, because it's a very freeing feeling.